The best isekai of all time has returned. And yes, I know what some of you are thinking. What about Re:Zero? Relax, Re:Zero is my favorite anime, but Mushoku Tensei is my favorite isekai. Does that make sense? Nope, but I make the rules around here. Anyway, Studio Bind absolutely cooked on this episode. The third best girl in Mushoku Tensei's bag, we get more awesome fight scenes, and some other stuff, so let's get into it. The last time we saw Eris at the end of season 1, she was bald. So I mean, something really bad must have happened that night when Rudeus and Eris, you know, for her 15th birthday gift. But if you also remember, Eris left a letter saying that they weren't compatible. Now, Eris is practically illiterate, so whether she meant that or not, we didn't know at the time. But now, we finally get the reason why she left. Okay, so one small piece of cut content was Eris leaving her worn underwear in the room and taking Rudeus's, but I guess some content being cut is good because I wasn't trying to remember that. Now, but actually, we learned that Eris decides to go train at the Sword Sanctuary, and when she's asked why, she says she's out to kill the dragon god Orsted. You know, the guy who just murdered Rudeus until Takina was like, yo, please revive him so we have a main character. And Orsted was like, I bet. And the only reason why Iris, of course, goes to the Sword Sanctuary is so she could protect Rudeus. I mean, if she could read and write, the first half of season 2 could have been avoided, and Rudeus would have 2 less wives, but I'll touch more on this later, but it's still pretty obvious that Iris is attached to Rudeus, even years later, and she kinda uses it as fuel to improve. So let's talk about the fight scenes. Holy cow, is the quality just incredible. No offense to season 2 because the second half was a masterpiece, but the animation finally feels like it's back on season 1 levels. When Iris arrives, Galfarion, who is like the Sword Sanctuary leader, decides to do a few tests with Iris. We see Iris absolutely destroy a kid, and then she fights Nina, who will be an important character later, and then absolutely just dogwalks her. Mind you, without a sword. I just wanted to point out how well the anime did at adapting every single detail, like they even added Nina being so scared of Iris that she peed her pants. And then 10 seconds later, we just see Iris getting flung out of the building by the sword god. And yeah, it turns out the sword god is actually pretty good with the sword. Then later on, Iris decides to attack the North Emperor, and she surprisingly holds her own. And I find it so funny that she lives up to her Mad Dog nickname, as she actually kind of looks like a dog when she's fighting. Anyway, he ends up giving Iris the Sword Saint title, and then decides to train her. And low-key, none of the students are happy about it, but I mean, what are they gonna say? It's not like any of them are even remotely close in skill to him. But the main reason why they're upset is that Iris hasn't even mastered a move called the Blade of Light, which is a super quick swing that's almost impossible to react to. Get it? Cause it moves at the speed of light? Okay, cool. We get this cool montage of Iris training, and if it isn't obvious, she's working extremely hard to kill Orsted. And I think everyone at this point realizes it, especially the sword god. But I think even he realizes the task might be close to impossible. He straight up says Orsted has mastered the Sword God, North God, and every other style known to man. Basically, he's the equivalent of Reinhard in Re:Zero. But unlike Reinhard, we don't really know how Orsted got so powerful. When Iris and Ruijerd first encountered him, they instantly got scared of him, and Orsted was able to defeat them without even trying. I mean, Rudeus, who is already one of the strongest mages at his age, could barely lay a scratch on Orsted. This episode also added some new content as well. The Sword God decides that Iris needs to learn pretty much every style if she wants to have a chance. So he invites the North Emperor, who Iris was fighting earlier, named Auber, to train her, and then later he'll invite the Water God as well. For now, it sounds like a solid plan, but knowing Iris, we'll see if she can actually listen to them. Now, I absolutely love Auber's fighting style. Auber fights with 2 swords, which means that he resembles another OP isekai protagonist from a series you might recognize. But just about when Iris is about to lose, all of a sudden she remembers who she's fighting for, Rudeus. And then we get this super sick animation where she somehow breaks both of Auber's swords using the Blade of Light, which, if you recall, is what everyone was making fun of her for not being able to use, which means all her training paid off. Studio Bind absolutely reminded everyone why Mushoku Tensei was so good in the first place. The animations, the soundtrack, the anime original editions, they absolutely nailed everything in this premiere. It's an easy 9 out of 10 episode, and if they keep this quality up, Season 3 might end up being something really special. Which, by the way, if you haven't read the novels yet, you're definitely in for a treat. I'm gonna try to upload weekly every time Mushoku Tensei comes out, so if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe. I'll see you guys. Bye!